This time on Highway Thru Hell,
Number 3 is pretty bad.
Jamie's top dog
But this will be the epic wreck of the year.
gets more than he bargained for.
We're right on the verge of tipping the thing over.
It's a serious load.
A colossal convoy
That's pretty badass.
trapped on the mountain
Here goes nothing.
tests a heavy rescue rookie
Ready?
and
Go ahead.
mission towing
I'm not convinced it's gonna work.
tackles a river monster. On the Highway Thru Hell, the last line of defense is a heavy rescue team ready to tackle any disaster. Because closure is not an option.
What's it doing up on top?
Well, it's letting you know that spring's not here quite yet.
A spring storm has hit the mountains near Hope, British Columbia.
Anybody know what's going on with Highway 3? Probably a couple inches, but it's snowing all the way across the Sunday Summit.
Jamie Davis towing.
At 10 p.m., Scott Bird gets the call.
Well, I was gonna go up to Coke and do some work up there, but I just got rerouted up Highway 3.
Scott's dispatched in the biggest heavy wrecker in Jamie's fleet, HR 117.
So number 3 is pretty bad.
Instead of climbing the Coke, Scott turns east onto Highway 3.
There's a truck in the ditch. Yeah, watch yourself up there.
A customer of ours called, and one of their units is spun out up by Sunday Summit.
Sunday Summit is the second highest point of elevation on the southern route, with 1,000-foot drop-offs beside the narrow road.
It's skinny, it's windy, it's up, it's down. You gotta be on your game to play on this road.
Highway 3 is not to be forgotten about. It has all the dangers of the Coquihalla and more.
An hour into the drive,
There's our guy.
Scott gets his first look at the job. A Super B loaded with lumber that has slid off the road.
I think it'll be a pretty easy job.
It's a pull-up. I've done thousands of them. Get my line out, pull the guy out, kick him free.
But the truck's driver knows it's worse than it looks.
The road missed that way, and I just started sliding over into the ditch.
The B-Train's tractor and its two trailers are leaning hard to one side.
Truck's running and everything okay? Yeah. Okay, I'll pull some line out and we'll get this done. We'll be doing about 140,000 pound pull. By myself, I'll get her done.
I can go to anything and deal with anything.
Once that cable's tight, release your brakes. If you start going backwards, go back onto the brakes, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, watch yourself up there. You're gonna come up on a tow truck trying to pull a lumber truck out of the ditch.
The highway is still open.
I'm gonna try and see if he's gonna come out easy.
Scott gets to work pulling on the front of the 60-ton Super B.
Come on.
But it's a struggle to get the tractor back onto the road.
Come on.
The fully loaded trailer refuses to budge.
Gravity is my biggest enemy right now.
Scott will have to try another approach to get the heavy trailers to move.
I have no choice. I have to have the whole highway shut down.
I need you and Robert up here flagging. fast.
It was supposed to be a quick and easy job, but Jamie's top operator is hardly panicking.
But this will be the epic wreck of the year, where I pull a loaded Super B out by myself and he drives away. That's the way it's gonna happen.
With Scott tied up on Highway 3,
There's something blocking the snow shed.
Jamie sends his newest driver up the coke.
I just got a call to head out for a spun out 13-axle truck up on the smash. We're gonna go up there and give him a tug up the hill.
Mike's gonna take a shot at this job. He's new here, but I'm confident he can get it done.
Mike's behind the wheel of one of Jamie's smallest heavy wreckers, HR66. As he arrives at the snow shed,
That's pretty badass.
the job takes on a whole new dimension.
The first thing I see is the back end of this big, huge trailer.
Up ahead,
Yeah, there's a bunch of big loads stuck up there.
Mike discovers
3.
there's more than one super load in the convoy.
Sorry. Sucks to be you.
2 more oversized loads hauling oil field equipment are stuck.
These are massive, massive heavy loads. Each one of these things weighs about 240,000 pounds.
The 3 enormous units were no match for the steepest section of the coke.
Once you start climbing, your weight starts going to the back. And when it starts going to the back, you start losing traction, eh? And all of a sudden, wham, bam.
The convoy's lead driver needs the oversized loads up the hill tonight.
These oversized loads run under permit, and they only have a certain window that they can travel during a 24-hour period. And if they don't get through, it could cost a lot of money.
These trucks are 13-axle tractor trailers that weigh about 5 times as much as a regular tractor trailer load.
The rookie driver and his 25-ton wrecker won't stand a chance without chains.
When something's blocking the highway, the pressure's on you to get these chains on in a hurry.
Hold on a second.
It's a little bit of a fight to get them stuffed in there, but I'm flexible. I fit in here. I'm gonna get this done.
Done. I'm gonna be at first.
Okay.
And
I won't shift. We'll just crawl it up it.
We'll crawl her to the top and hopefully we make her, right?
That's right, sir.
Okay.
Hope nothing breaks.
Chained up, Mike starts moving the first super load. Crawling up the Smasher's 8.5% incline.
I'm watching on my mirror, I'm making sure that my winch line's tight. I'm staying in the same path as the truck. Every moment that we got these heavy loads blocking the road is potential for a bad accident and there's potential for lost freight time.
Mike gets the first $250,000 load to the top of the hill.
That's a little weighty.
Yeah.
Back down the road, 2 more wide loads remain stranded.
All right, so you go down and get the other guy. Okay, white truck's in the barn.
Sweet.
The convoy's permit is set to expire in an hour, so Mike heads down the coke
Tow truck backing down the granny lane of the Smasher.
the fastest way he can in reverse.
It's super hard to see out your mirrors, and especially when you got headlights coming at you.
Gotta be careful, driver.
Across the mountains on Highway 3,
done.
What was supposed to be a simple recovery is turning into a problem for Scott.
Damn it.
The recovery veteran has struggled to winch the heavy B train out from the front.
Okay.
Scott's called in flaggers Robert and Loretta to shut down the highway.
You have to slow down to come around that curve, right? So I'll let you know when I get down there.
Closing the highway will give Scott room to pull from the side.
Narrow truck's coming up and then Scotty's coming out.
We'll be stopping all traffic.
It's not a pull-up. It's a pull-out. It makes a whole big difference to what I'm going to be doing here.
Scott rigs 2 double lines to the lead trailer to work the lumber truck back onto the road.
There's not a mark on this truck or trailer anywhere. The load's perfectly intact. So now the pressure's really on.
With more than half the B train out of the ditch, Scott re-rigs for another attempt at pulling from the front.
I'm really confident I can get this job done.
This will be the final pull.
I'm thinking it's just going to be a walk in the park.
But the rear trailer
Steer it! Steer!
is putting up a fight.
I noticed the back trailer is starting to tip over.
100,000 pounds of lumber threatens to spill.
If the back trailer goes over, it's going to take the front trailer and it's going to take the truck over. And if I'm the guy that flips that thing over, I'm going to be kicking rocks down the road looking for a new job.
Okay, guys, road is going one direction.
On Highway 3, east of Hope,
Steer it! Steer!
Scott Bird struggles with a loaded lumber truck. Threatening to topple onto its side.
Damn it.
Weighing more than 100,000 pounds, the tilted B train went off the road.
Unfortunately, we're right on the verge of tipping the thing over. Sometimes they look easy and they're not quite as easy as they look. And it's right at a very crucial point right now that if I do the wrong thing, I'm gonna have a big problem.
Working with only one truck, Scott repositions to try and break the back of the B train free.
We have to immediately address that back trailer. It has to come out sideways. With a truck and a set of trailers and a load, it's nothing for $400,000 to be sitting there. So I don't want to screw it up.
Made a thing into a good thing. Now we'll go do this midsection.
I'm gonna put it back on the road without a mark on it. That's the way it's gotta be done.
Finally, both fully loaded trailers are back onto the road.
Hey, I have another problem.
But at the front of the rig,
So it won't start.
It won't start?
Nope.
all the fuel has shifted into one of the tractor's 2 tanks.
All of his fuel's gone down to the downside tank.
The driver can't start the truck.
She ain't gonna run. Now I have one more situation I gotta deal with before he can drive away.
Okay, I gotta try and pull start this fella here.
Okay, drivers. Scotty's almost got him out. Not much longer.
Excellent. Thanks for the heads up. Okay, let the clutch down. Let's try and jump start it now.
If the clutch start works, the driver should be able to get on his way.
Give me a thumbs up if it's running. We'll pull over just up here and we'll cut you loose.
Loretta, let your traffic go.
Good job.
Okay, bud. Take care.
Okay, man. I'm going for the road.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a grunt, but we got her done.
You can buy all the big wreckers you want. You need the talent to run it. And Scott has that.
Pride is everything. Do it right.
Feeling good. Truck's out of the ditch. Customer's happy. That is a beautiful thing.
Back on the coke.
Tow truck's backing down the granny lane of the Smasher.
After getting an oversized load to the top of the Smasher, Mike Reynolds backs down to try and get the rest of the massive convoy moving.
It's a little intense backing down the hill, especially when it's your first time.
Backed all the way down the Smasher. The top to the bottom.
But as Jamie's rookie rolls up to the second wide load, another tow truck is already hooked up.
Tri-Drive here is having a little bit of trouble with their load pulling up.
The wrecker struggles to haul the 240,000-pound unit up the steepest stretch of the coke.
These oversized loads, they got a time restriction on their permits.
Yeah, I got 1 triple on.
You gotta get this thing figured out pretty quick here. Sitting here doing nothing ain't gonna get the road open.
To get the oversized load moving, Mike's front bumper is connected to the back end of the 100-foot-long train.
And I'm gonna act as a push truck and help push them up while the other tow truck pulls them up.
It's got to be in there far enough, eh? This is a long one, eh? It's probably bottomed out.
Never got to be a push truck before.
So just first gear in it? Yeah. All ready back here?
Ready to move.
Even with Mike pushing and the other truck pulling, the load won't move.
Tires are smoking away to pieces. Truck's jumping all over the place. This is being super hard on my truck.
I'm just burning my tires and chains off back here, man.
Not very good.
I'm just burning my tires and chains off back here, man.
On the steepest section of the coke, another oversized load is too much for Jamie's junior operator.
Tires are smoking away to pieces. Truck's jumping all over the place.
With Mike pushing at the back and another truck pulling up front, The $250,000 unit won't budge.
This is silly. We got to figure something else out.
Closer inspection reveals the load's tractor has a broken axle.
He weighs so much, we need the extra help from this tractor. When his tires don't roll, it ain't helping us at all. This second guy's needing a tow job now.
The damaged cab is towed away.
They're gonna take the tractor off the first unit that I pulled up the hill and bring him down here and hook him up.
Leaving Mike and the convoy's lead driver to take on the 240,000-pound load.
It weighs over 4 times as much as HR66 does.
I'm gonna put it in bull low and 90 under.
Start under this, I just got bull low.
Okay. Played on cards and lost. So here we are.
All right, buddy, I'm gonna ease off on the brake and then we're gonna start going. I'm in bull low, brakes off, ready to go.
Bull low is the lowest gear Mike has in HR66.
This is just me pushing now. With no tow truck up at the front.
It's really, really tough to get traction, and it's really easy to spin my tires. It's a little bit of a chewy fight, but we're gonna deal with it and get this job done.
Stay in the hammer lane right to the top. Guys are towing a tractor up the hill here. Here you slowed. Okay there, Mike, we're gonna slow it right down and then we'll come to a stop there, okay?
It's the second heavyweight load of the 3-part convoy.
I'm in neutral.
Mike's helped up the Smasher tonight.
A little bit of teamwork.
But there's still one more unit to rescue. A third rig spun out in the fast lane south of the snow shed.
Backing down the Smasher.
We got big truck a minute trying to get up this road. I mean, we got to get in here and get this thing cleared up fast. Just got to get through this last one.
There goes nothing.
We gotta go right because we're gonna have all those trucks behind us spinning out.
With more than 100 feet of oil field equipment in his rearview mirror, Mike crawls through the shed towards the finish line.
We're almost done. We're almost out of here.
Gotta earn my stripes here. This might be in the top heavy load department.
The mechanic turned heavy rescue man as the last piece of the convoy to the top of the coke. No small feat for the junior operator.
We hauled up about 720,000 pounds of iron tonight. Maybe I set a record.
You get thrown into these jobs to learn it by the seat of your pants. This is what you got to do. You got to try these things and you get better at them.
Good luck to you guys.
Done and done.
Mike pulled off a huge night, and I think he holds the record for the heaviest load pulled up the coke. Yeah, you gotta be a warrior to do that hill, man. It's not for the faint of heart, right?
No, that's right.
But good job, though. That's really good.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, all right, I gotta get back to my paperwork, buddy.
The next morning in the Fraser Valley, Mission Towing has just been dispatched to a different kind of heavy rescue.
We're heading out to a mill that's been torn down.
Jordy DePerrin and a 30-ton wrecker are heading down to the docks of the Fraser River.
A customer called us stating they had a piece that was in the river. You're walking into this job blind and you don't know what you're really getting into. Oh, this is a mess. Wow.
Underneath the water, a 40,000-pound log conveyor is anchored in the deep mud. For decades, lumber mills have relied on the machines to move logs up from the river. When the mill on this site was being demolished,
This has got to be 30 feet deep here.
the log conveyor collapsed into the river.
This thing's big. I mean, this is a big, heavy piece of machinery.
The 40-foot-long hunk of metal has Jordy and his brother Nick wading into uncharted waters.
This conveyor is buried in river mud. It's heavy, so it's sunk down into that mud pretty hard. Very different than pulling a vehicle out of a ditch.
I've been doing this job a long time, and this is the first log conveyor I've ever been faced with.
With so much of the conveyor buried in the mud, the crew can only rig to its top side.
You always want to hook underneath so it lifts it as you're pulling at the same time. In this certain situation, we have no choice but to do this.
Winch in, boom down, boom up.
Operator Dylan Greenwood starts the pull.
It didn't budge it.
It's dead stopping Dylan's wrecker and lifting the front tires off the ground. We're watching for any sign of this thing moving at all, and it's not budging one little bit.
The conveyor is suctioned so badly to the river bottom. Dylan's 30-ton wrecker is not enough.
We're gonna need more muscle.
Yeah. We can't get a good lift on it.
Jordy and Nick roll in some extra iron for the job. A 30-ton excavator.
You get you to bring your boom down?
The excavator can lift a lot higher than the tow trucks can.
This is definitely one of those jobs where we make it up as we go. Hook onto this thing and give it our best.
Okay, ready? Go ahead.
All right, there we go, there we go.
The excavator's high-angle lifting power
Keep going, brother.
raises hopes.
And it's starting to move. We're very happy about it.
We're working with him to lift and pull at the same time to get it up here.
We're taking half the ground with us.
But as the 40,000-pound relic finally starts to rise,
He's pulling a boat anchor out, eh?
it begins to plow up another obstacle.
The resistance that we're trying to overcome is overcoming us right now. We're gambling right now with this one.
Dylan, Dylan.
Stop, stop.
No, 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 no.
In the valley, on the banks of the Fraser River,
Load it up.
Mission Towing tries to pry 40,000 pounds of dead weight out of the mud.
This thing's just a big hunk of metal. It doesn't have any wheels on it. It's not gonna roll. And it's gonna fight us the entire way.
As it finally starts to move, the log conveyor builds a wall of mud. pushing the limits of an excavator and a 30-ton wrecker.
Dylan? Dylan! Stop. Stop. No, 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 no.
Sinking in down here.
We're not moving this. This recovery is defeating us.
Jordy and Nick need more muscle. Mission Towing's 35-ton wrecker and driver Neil Wakefield.
Jordy gave me a call and told me to meet him. They couldn't move it any further. Got there as quick as I could.
Neil has spent years customizing Mission's eye-catching wrecker, Truck 70.
That truck is my whole world. I am constantly working on it, painting it, rewiring it, polishing it. It's my baby.
He's even poured thousands of dollars of his own money into its chrome and gleam.
I don't have any other bad habits. I don't smoke or drink, so what am I going to spend money on?
Now Neil and the 35-ton wrecker will try to turn the tide on the Riverside recovery.
Welcome to the party, Neil. How long is this thing?
See where the ropes are?
Yeah.
Okay, they're probably 30 feet past that.
It's not very often we catch ourselves doubting what we're doing. And this really has us reconsidering whether we should have taken this job on.
In hope,
Here, take this to E and ask her where she puts all those.
Jamie's at his yard,
Sherry?
behind a desk, for his least favorite task.
Trying to pay the bills, that's where it's at. So we're gonna do that right now.
Do you want me to get that?
But out front, his stepson, Brandon, has a new role.
Jamie Davis Towing. 6.
You're in the wrong gear.
Brandon's been working for Jamie since he was 16.
Whenever I head up to a wreck, I'm always kind of a bit worried because I've had so many close calls with getting hit.
Get over!
What?
Brandon, he just walked off the road.
Brandon decided that he didn't want to flag anymore, and I understand that because it's dangerous work.
Fast and efficient.
This winter, Brandon's been helping out around the office.
Every day I do their banking. I take their merchandising in and I sell their merchandise. I do dispatching. I do billing. There you go. I do invoicing. I do filing. I do faxing. I think I'm gonna make the all-star team this year.
Hey, Brandon, let me try that thing. Show me how to use it. Look, see that? First time ever, and I'm doing wheelies. Whoa! Good for him if he wants to try something and get to work and do something.
At the river,
Are we gonna do 2 into 1 or are we gonna do 4 lines?
4 lines.
Okay.
Mission Towing is forced to add a third weapon to break the deadlock with an 18-ton log conveyor.
We've maxed out Dylan's wrecker and this excavator, so we're hoping with the 3 of these things working together, we'll be able to get this thing out of the water.
To free the conveyor from the riverbed, they'll use 3 machines and 11 lines. The pair of wreckers pulling at an angle and the excavator lifting from above.
How much more do you think you need, Dylan?
We're gonna go right where this line is going. It's underwater right now.
Okay.
So to a chain underneath it.
Jordy is throwing in everything he's got to reel in the big catch.
We have 11 lines this load because we're dealing with a lot of weight and the resistance. We're at a point right now where we're not sure. Can we get this out?
We got lots of pulling power here.
Perfect.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed. Yeah.
But 3 machines and 11 lines still may not be enough.
We're gonna run out of truck here is what's probably gonna happen.
I'm going up.
There's nothing worse than walking away from a job. We need to pull it out.
This is the moment of truth right here. If it's gonna work, we'll find out right now.
Okay, ready? Go ahead.
Finally, the massive hunk of steel.
Beautiful.
Breaks suction. Then starts to push through the wall of mud.
I don't know, man.
But the base, supporting the heavy wreckers, threatens to give way.
Dig them right in. We might need a wrecker to come and get us out. The weakest link is the ground that we're sitting on.
We're working on the riverbank. That concrete's very soft.
On the banks of the Fraser River.
I don't know, man. I'm not convinced it's gonna work.
Mission Towing is losing ground.
Stop!
Fighting to reel in a 40-foot catch.
It was moving.
So are we.
Dig them right in.
Okay, ready? Go ahead.
As Geordie's wreckers pull on the 18-ton conveyor, they punch through the old pavement.
Keep going, brother.
There we go.
But with 2 trucks, 1 excavator, and 11 lines on the job, Geordie's crew makes a breakthrough.
Sweet.
And all of a sudden, it just sort of jumped. Ah, okay, we're gonna actually get something done today.
Beautiful, Neil. Beautiful.
I'm not feeling defeated anymore.
But the recovery is far from over. The massive relic must now be maneuvered past old pilings and a 15-foot retaining wall.
This is gonna be the hardest part. The fingers are crossed.
Back in Hope,
Grab one end of that.
Jamie loads up for a trip he's been looking forward to for weeks.
Lots to do today.
The parts loaded in the back of the truck are for a new addition to Jamie's fleet.
We've sold a rotator. I need a couple of more paid-for trucks that are refurbished just to kind of back everything up. Big important project for me is to get Mighty Moe on the road.
Jamie's rebuilding an old Holmes record he fell in love with decades ago.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks really good.
He calls it Mighty Moe.
It's the largest mechanical wrecker that was commercially built. It was the rotator of the day. Mighty Moe is a big machine. It's by the USS Missouri.
Mighty Moe is named after a famous World War II battleship.
Jamie's got the love of the old school towing. He still likes it. I think he needs to seek help about that.
Jamie hopes the vintage wrecker will be ready to join his fleet before winter's over. But first, it has to start.
I'm gonna give it a whirl just for giggles. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
It's old school, cool kind of truck.
Is it pumping up, Jamie?
There's no electronics, there's no onboard scales. It's all manual labor. We had one fault code on the dash, but it ran. We'll figure it out. That's part of the game. I can't wait to take Mighty Moe out and do some recoveries in the snow.
Let Dylan catch up to you, Neil.
At the Riverside Recovery, Mission Towing has spent the last 7 hours in a tug of war.
Pulling me up.
We've worked so hard to get it to where we're at now. Our fingers are crossed.
The 40,000-pound log conveyor is free from the mud. But Jordy's crew needs to lift it past a row of wood pilings and a 15-foot retaining wall.
Take some weight up.
Is it gonna get hung up on them? Is it gonna get caught on them?
Hang on, we're pulling against each other right now. Hang on.
We're at the crucial part of the recovery. This is the do or die stage.
There we go.
The conveyor clears the retaining wall.
Neil, hang on.
But gets impaled on a wood piling.
No log coming out with it.
Let Dylan pull. Let Dylan pull. Pull, Dylan, go.
It's worse than a tug of war. It just doesn't want to move.
The only play Jordy has left
They rip these frickin' things right out, who cares?
Yeah.
is to try and tear the conveyor free.
We're gonna turn it over to the excavator and let him fight this thing the rest of the way.
That's a pretty serious pull.
That's gonna go.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
On the banks of the Fraser River,
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Mission Towing is in a final showdown with a beast.
Hold it.
To free the 18-ton log conveyor from a piling,
Hang on 1 second. Yep.
Jordy's crew has brought the excavator back into the fight.
And you see the back end of that excavator coming way up in the air. Next thing, we got that thing on its roof.
That's gonna go. Just need you to lift right now. Don't try pulling. There we go.
Go.
Oh yeah.
Finally, after 10 hours, the conveyor scrapes up the bank.
Good, I'm gonna have to call you back, okay, honey? Daddy's finishing the job.
And Jordy gets a reminder of his most important appointment of the day.
I got a hockey game to make.
I need to leave in a hurry because I'm on my way to my son's hockey game.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Good job, buddy.
See you later.
Thanks, Dylan.
Hey, big brother.
Later, dude. Good
Nice
job.
We love a challenge, and we love to do something that people say cannot be done. We won the recovery, and I get to go watch my son play hockey. It's a win-win for everybody.
That boy, push through, push through. All your stress from work goes away when you come to the hockey rink and watch your son play. That's why we do what we do for our kids, right? It's a big part of our life. Stay on it, Dave. Stay on it, stay on it, stay on it.
Come here.
I have 3 beautiful children. My son, who's 10.
Hey. What's up, buddy?
I have a daughter who's 6 and another daughter who is 19 months. My children will be the 5th generation to Mission Towing. I'm very excited for that.
Okay, let's go.
Jordy is not alone.
I got Junior with me here tonight. That's the life of a towing family.
It's a feeling all heavy rescue operators share about what's most important.
What you deal with every day makes you realize that life is short, life is precious. The value is really the small things in life.
Next time on the season finale of Highway Thru Hell, a logging truck
It's winking at me.
700 feet down.
Saying, come get me.
Becomes Al's steepest mountain recovery. A fiery crash has heavy rescue
Keep going.
battling to clear the canyon. And as winter wraps, Jamie cranks it up for next season.